For Ray and the team.
Sure. Oh, lots of stuff. We got lots of excitement. Successes, failures, all mixed in there.
So you've been on all the Arrowverse shows so far. Have you found a different experience on one show to the next?
Yeah, I mean each show has its unique flair. It depends on because the cast is different and the crew is different, and then the sets are different too, which just kind of makes it interesting. Flash is definitely a little bit more light and airy and comedic because that's the nature of the show, and at least the episode that I did. And Arrow is definitely a little bit darker and more intense. But the crew has been together longer, so the days move differently, and they have different camaraderie than some of the other shows. As they're building that and becoming their own team, the crew becomes a team. And then ours is just kind of like, hey, everybody, what's your name? I don't know yet. I'll learn it tomorrow because I had to learn 20 other people. And we're just, we have a huge scope of the scripts that we're doing. We're just trying to, do our best to make it all work and become our own Legends team. So it's kind of a mix of both. I'd say it's more on the Flash side, energy-wise and tonal-wise, because even though we're doing intense stuff, there's almost always a little bit of lightness or epicness to it.
And so, as far as Ray, Palmer Industry now actually owns Queen Industries. They actually took it over.
Right.
So is that going to impact in Legends as well? Is that going to see a result of that on the show?
As of right now, not necessarily. That may change. May change as scripts come out. But the place Ray kind of leaves Arrow is definitely intriguing, and it's a big step for him. Based on the events that'll unfold in Arrow season 4. We don't talk a lot about the company, but definitely about the effect of who Ray was or is seen in Starling/Star City.
Who would you like to work with that you haven't worked with yet in this DC universe?
You mean outside of the CW
the
DC
CW,
shows?
yes. So probably not Supergirl and Gotham, but the ones that Flash, Arrow, Legends.
I've worked with pretty much all the actors so far. Actually, it'd be fun. Teddy Sears, who's playing Jay Garrick, and I were on One Life to Live here in New York in 2001. So it'd be fun to do something, be in scenes with him as him, being a superhero and me being a superhero. That's just crazy how worlds collide. But I'd love to do more work on Flash. I got to do that one episode and work with Grant and have real bigger scenes with Grant. We didn't have tons of back and forth, just as a group stuff. So he's fantastic, and the whole team over there.
What's cool about Ray is, and especially as the Atom, is there's a little bit more humor to him too. He has all these great lines.
Yeah.
What's that like to play that aspect? I mean, your Superman was great, but
Thanks.
Superman was pretty steady. I mean, he didn't say much that was funny, but this guy does.
Clark did.
Well, Clark maybe.
It's great, because Ray brings out those aspects of Clark that was, for me, the most fun part about, and relaxing part about the Superman role was Clark, because I relaxed in the comedy. The Superman stuff was definitely more onus and was, more intense. So to be able to play this character that has levity, is a glass half full type of guy, is awesome. It's fun to come to work every day and be silly and hopefully make the crew laugh. So I revel in it for sure.
How involved is Ray Palmer going to be in the Arrow Flash crossover for this upcoming season?
Not so much. Ray's storyline is kind of built into episodes leading up to that point. But I think all that stuff is going to kind of be intertwined in a way, because the crossovers, I can't remember when they happen in the schedule, really launch into, those are all launching into Legends of Tomorrow.
So, what does Ray think of the rest of the team? Because it's an eclectic group of people.
Yeah.
You know, the show moves at such rapid pace that we don't have time to check in with everybody about how everybody feels about everybody because there's 8 characters, and so there's just like looks and a lot of stuff conveyed in very short because they also got the pace is just like breakneck speed. But I think he's game. He's definitely the most game of all the crew to begin the journey. Has reservations, but doesn't speak them out loud necessarily at first because he doesn't want to mess up the rhythm of things. He's like, this is pretty neat. This is an amazing opportunity. But as the episodes progress, we definitely see each different pairs like interacting, and how those relationships work out is really kind of cool and unique. Creates unique relationships within the whole crew.
Talk a little bit about the sort of the tone of the show, because you don't really want this to be sort of a little bit of this and a little bit of this.
Yeah.
You really want it to be its own.
It is its own. I do really believe it's its own thing. I thought maybe at first that would be an issue, but because we have so many people in the show who are so disparate, such different characters, and we are all different people as actors too. So it's an interesting group offset. We get along great because we're all kind of so different. Nobody competing with each other in any way, and it's so big. A lot of kind of big group shots. There's not time to have a close up of every single person. So a lot is conveyed in kind of big tableaus and things, and stuff blowing up all the time. But really good story and relationships. A lot of humor even in the action. You know, it's like, gosh, I'm gonna figure out exactly what it kind of reminds me of. I mean, it's much more cinematic than anything else. The producers often refer to it as like the Dirty Dozen, but I don't know if that's tonally so much as the group as a whole is kind of this mishmash of people coming together. It's definitely going to be unique and similar to the other 2 shows, but definitely of its own.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.